We only have 2 days to fulfill a week worth of orders. Now, with all the machines that I got, can I do it? Because I have to leave out of town on Wednesday, which means I only have Monday and Tuesday. Right now, it's Sunday, 11:30. I gotta go to sleep and get started. All right, it's 5:30. I'm at the shop. I don't know if I got enough sleep, but it is what it is. When you are producing or manufacturing, I think the best way to manufacture is when you or your staff don't have to go from one station to another to make 5 products. The least amount of times they can switch from one station to another is going to be the best. So prep work is going to be big. We're going to prepare the banner designs on the computer so that we can print them, we can press them. When she arrives here, they're ready for her to start sewing. Now I'm on a massive time crunch, so I decided to put all the designs on the paper and printing them all at once, all the flags, aprons, banners, and then I sublimate. I use a sublimation method, and this is a massive roll-to-roll heat press, which allows me to press unlimited amount of designs. All right, so my employee is here, and she's sewing right now. We are continuing to press. All right, it's the midday and I printed a ton of fabric. I'm gonna add up exactly how much in dollars that we're making as far as orders. Once the design is pressed on it, I go ahead and cut all the fabric, and the sides can be overlocked. I'm extremely fortunate to be able to utilize this process as it is very efficient. All right, it's time to put the rivets in there, or gamuts, or whatever you want to call them. These little guys that go on the side of the flag, and this is the machine that helps me do that. I used to use this bad boy over here, but it was a pain in the butt. Buying proper equipment, it doesn't have to be expensive. This was only a couple $100s, but it's saving me hours. I mean, hours every single week just having the right equipment. Not expensive equipment, the right equipment. So far, everything's been going pretty smooth with the banners. It takes 4 stages to complete the full banner. I've been operating 3 stages while my employee has been taking care of one of them. The lady that worked here, she went home. We didn't sew some flags, which I'm gonna do that right now. I'll show you how to flip this inside out. Put a dowel right through it, pinch it, push it in, thumb it in there, flip it, put it where your thumb is, and voila, just like that. When it comes to ironing these things, I used to use my roll-to-roll heat press. However, I realized that sometimes going simpler is faster. And using my CO2 machine to cut this triangle out, I was able to create this very simple method. Almost dropped this on my foot. I don't know if it's just getting too late or I don't know. Now me dropping that on my foot just shows you that it's getting a bit late into the evening and everything was going smooth until this happened. So my machine is kind of broken. So apparently there's a metal kink in the little plate, so it's pulling back my thread and is doing this. Now, fortunate enough that I knew my way around this machine, as it wasn't the first time this machine needed some serious maintenance, and I needed to assess what was going on, and what was happening to the thread was pretty clear, and it's something that sewers are not gonna like. Found it. You know why this gink in the metal happened? And the people that sew and our sewers will kill me for this, but it's because I haven't been oiling it on time. And the gears are too tight, they're not as loose, and they're hitting the metal and they're bending the metal. After smoothing out the plate and blowing out all the dust in there, oiling the machine, putting it all back together, it was purring like a kitten. And I was able to get started on those flags. So I have this very efficient method using my 2-needle sewing machine. This machine has 2 bobbins, 2 needles, and it allows me to sew both sides at once. All right, time to cut them and sew the sides. Now, with this machine, you can either just fold it back and just sew it and make the front look nice, but the back is gonna be like crap. But with this machine, I can make it folded nicely on the inside, front and back, looks good. Now, I decided to make this specific product because I had the set of equipment. Part of my research strategy when I do product research or keyword research, I ask myself, am I able to make this product at a very efficient rate using the current equipment that I have? Thus, I'm able to manufacture this product at an affordable rate, and affordable rates on the marketplace improves conversion rate, thus dominating that product space. So right here, we have about $2,900 in sales ready to go. Tomorrow, we have a lot more to do. And we're gonna find out if we can beat this record on how much we can make in dollar terms. Keep watching. All right, so we are back. It is 5:30, and what we have to do is laser engrave and get ready for my employee. Now, normally I would have an employee sitting at the station, but today I want to get ahead and I want to prepare some collars for her so she can just skip to the next station, which is sewing the collars together. Now, normally I create the files, I email it, and then she would engrave them using this template, engraving 9 buckles in just a few clicks.
Look at this, I'm on caffeine, look at this. My hands are shaking extremely. I think the dog will make less noise wearing this collar than my hand. The problem is when you do a lot at once, when you hit engrave, it'll engrave 9 at once, and then you realize, hey, I already did that file, and so you lose 9 buckles all in one time. So doing things in bulk is great, but the problem is if you have a mistake, you do a mistake on every single one of those really fast.
All right, once I'm done engraving all the buckles, it's time to assign the label to the buckle so that this label can travel throughout this whole process and the employees are able to know exactly what size the collar is, what design, and they can process the order accordingly. I then went upstairs to cut the strap according to the order size and design, preparing my employee to use the CNC machine and finalizing these collars.
Well, look at that. It's fall time. Pumpkin spice latte or not this pumpkin spice latte? Get a pumpkin spice latte with 3 shots.
All right, so I don't have to have all the designs. There's a lot of the designs that we don't have, and I usually create some time to print them. And I print them in this fashion because I cut them in a certain way, and I'll show you that in a second. When you are printing fabric, you have to create a seamless design so that it can repeat that design over and over, creating a roll-to-roll print. Then, of course, I take it to my heat press it, and I make sure to align it. Alignment process is something that is specifically to my process. I make sure that when I cut these designs that they are perfectly aligned and I'm not cutting into the nearest design. Now, I cut it using a vertical knife. I cut through all the designs, and of course, they are printed in that fashion, so it's pretty clear where I need to make the cut. I take it out and they look like these little tapes that have only that design, and then I sew it using a 2-needle sewing machine that I used on my flags, and the process is very automated. I'm able to print 20 to 30 feet at a time. Now, jumping forward, my employee already finished her working day. However, she didn't finish all the orders, so I had to pick up where she left off.
All right, so my wife just called and she said that we should leave today instead of tomorrow, which cuts my timeline even more. So we're gonna try to speed it up even faster. We'll see how far we'll get. All right, it's kind of overwhelming. We got a lot to do and we just have about 3 hours to do it. And I'm very ADHD and it flares up when I have so much to do. My brain goes in all these directions. And the best way I combat that is I do a task that's just repetitive. In this case, we're gonna make some patches for all these dog collars that we have. And it's just making files for patches, and we're gonna engrave patches. Think about nothing else, because I got the heat press over there. I'm gonna making sure that my employee has work to do, and I'm thinking of the dog collar, I'm thinking of packaging, having got that started, packaging, and my brain is everywhere.
All right, I am really pressed on time, so I'm doing some of the things backwards. I usually engrave and then cut, but we're doing things upside down because things are moving and my brain is not able to keep up with all the things that I'm doing. But I'm making patches out of leather. I'm making also patches out of fabric. I print them on the printer, sublimate them on a strap. Then I take that strap and I use a heat knife to be able to cut the sides, to cure the sides so that they are not flaring out when the collar is being worn, because you don't want to lose your phone number when your dog is running around. That's kind of the point of the phone number. And I'm using the CNC machine as well to sew these patches on there. Now, I'm moving as fast as possible. At this point, it is just me in the shop. I'm trying to get things done. I'm way past the time that I have planned to be finished. There's very little time, and I'm still thinking about packaging or doing the remakes. We ran out of time. Now, did we get all our orders done today? Not even close. Now, before I tell you how much money we made today, I wanted to say why I made this video. Now,
one thing I forgot to mention is I have a trump card. And this trump card is somebody can come in tomorrow and get the orders going. And the day after that. My business doesn't end with me. If you're running a business where you're the business, and if you're not there, then the business falls apart, the business can't take care of you. We have to build a business where we can see the people that we love, where we can enjoy life. And so the way to do that is to build processes that other people can follow. I remember the first day I came into the shop in the morning and I left the shop because I needed to get things done. And when I came at the end of the day, I was holding the final product, knowing that at no point did my hands ever touch this besides this last stage of packaging. And that was exciting. That really showed me that it is possible to build a business that can take care of you when you're not there, and that it can operate when you're not there, and it can take care of you. So the amount of money that we made today is $4,500. That's impressive. Now, imagine if I had this business running on its own, and that's the goal. That's my future, is where we can have so much orders that this shop is operating like that every day. Now, I have to drive to Portland for 4 hours right now. It's gonna be insane. It's 8:30, and I'm gonna probably arrive at like 1 p.m. and I am going to Portland. So if I don't come back, now the way you can check up on me is subscribe and see if I upload the next video. And that way you know, like, yeah, he made it. Now, if I don't make it, I'm still with you guys virtually. I did create a free course you guys can check out, link in the description. So go ahead and check it out. And until next time, have a good one.